beautiful people. My name is Louisa, and welcome to my channel or wherever you're listening to this from. I'd like to talk today about my upcoming retreat and group program in May 2026, held on the Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia. So if you are anywhere in that vicinity or you feel really called to travel, then I would absolutely love to hear from you and hopefully have you join us. This will be the third year that I'm running the retreat, and I'm doing a bit of a hybrid this year, offering a group program, a day program, or I should say an evening plus 2 full days over a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that's where people can come if they live in the area and they can go home, or people have the option to arrange their own accommodation, which is completely fine. That's the group program only. If you do also want to join us for the full experience, we will be offering accommodation as well as support around that. So it's particularly good for people who are perhaps NDIS participants that need that extra support in the evenings or the extra support to even get to the venue. That supported retreat or respite experience will include pickup from the airport, it will include meals, and it will include somebody staying overnight with you in the accommodation. So you can really feel safe and held throughout this experience. It will also include a integration day after the respite. So the Monday after the retreat or the group program, you will be having some space and some time to just really reflect on what you've learned, what you've gained, the wisdom that you might have picked up, some shifts that may have happened for you. These retreats do tend to be a really wonderful way of shifting you from, I guess I call it like one timeline, the timeline that you're currently on, to the next timeline or the next version of self that you are becoming. They're a really beautiful bridge that gets you there, I guess, faster than if you were just sitting at home reflecting on your own. And part of that is the magic of peer support, the magic of coming together with people that understand some of what you've been through. I mean, we cannot ever know everybody's experience, but there is that profound validation that comes from sitting with people who understand pretty much what you've gone through and can relate. And I find the experience of psychosis to be one of those where there's not that many people in the world that have gone through a full-blown psychosis or then had ramifications afterwards that have led to a complete disintegration of functioning or loss of identity, loss of self. In extreme situations, people might end up with the complete opposite of the life that they had before, a real sense of complete breakdown and collapse and debilitation that comes from it. So severe illness, and that might be with diagnoses like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder or complex PTSD, that kind of thing. Or you might be one of those folks that missed the medical system altogether, the mental health system, and you just toughed it out alone, and you've been relying on resources and friends and books and YouTube channels and whatever you can to help you recover, but you do now perhaps need that added guidance. So all of the above are welcome. This is a very inclusive space. However, it is important to point out that it is a post-psychosis restorative program. So in other words, it's going to help you integrate what you've already been through. And even though you might be feeling still ups and downs and feeling wobbly and not fully able to function the way that perhaps you want to, you might still need a lot of support. I would still expect that you are relatively stable with your mental health right now and relatively able to self-care and take care of yourself. Like you've got some tools in the toolbox. We're going to teach you a lot more, and you're going to teach us something as well, because the spirit of peer support is that we sit in a circle. There are no people above or better than, even though, I might be, for example, as a facilitator, somebody who's walked the journey further than you have. That doesn't mean I have all the answers. And in fact, what I really think is so important on the healing journey is to find that own your own inner voice, your own inner guidance that actually knows what you need. I did a video on this recently called something along the lines of following your wise voice. So I might just link that above. And if you want to check that out, it's the principle behind this kind of work. I want to help activate your own inner knowing. And that's why when we present the material on this course, we're not beholden to one worldview of what psychosis is or how you heal from it. What we try and do is we offer a whole range of different views, and I call it the worldviews of psychosis smorgasbord that you get to look at and contemplate. And then there's going to be time for reflection, for personal storytelling, so that you get a chance to really share what you've been through with a compassionate witness, someone who isn't going to judge and isn't going to label and is going to let you tell the story the way you want to tell it. Conscious storytelling is a beautiful healing tool. It's super simple as well. It just doesn't involve any tricks or mental gymnastics or need to necessarily go deep into emotions, although emotions might come up, which is fabulous and we love that. But it's a way of reframing your narrative and using your intellect and your logic and your mind to kind of create a story that feels more beneficial for you, that doesn't perhaps evoke the shame and the stigma that a lot of people experience when they go through these things. So we'll be doing that. We'll be storytelling, we'll be sharing, we'll be learning about worldviews, and we'll also be learning a lot of skills to help ground energy, to understand how the energetic body works and what I call the four bodies. So we have the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and the spiritual body. And we want to understand or help give you guys some tools to be able to navigate that, the worlds, the subtle realms. Depending on your worldview, you'll have a focus in one or other direction. But if you're somebody who is very tuned into spiritual realms and subtle dimensions, and we want to give you a hand in understanding how to maintain what I call energetic hygiene, because that's very important to start to cultivate your own discernment about what is serving you and what isn't, so that you can make really wise choices. And ultimately, you don't have to give up that magic, that magical experience of communicating with other worlds or having synchronicities and flows in your life and the really cool stuff that comes with expanded states of awareness. You can still have all of that and yet at the same time stay grounded, functional, happy human being. So if that sounds appealing for you and you would like this special opportunity to come together with people who hopefully will understand you and will most definitely hold compassion for you, because all of our retreats and spaces and group work are usually just such loving experiences, to be honest. People really care for each other in those spaces. And yeah, it's a lovely way of just feeling validated and held and supported in perhaps a way that you've not had before. So it's myself and my team, it's our honor to create such spaces. The reason I do this work is because when I was going through psychosis, it's exactly what I would have loved, or at least when I'd come through the worst of my psychosis, I would have loved something like this to really put into words what it all meant for me. And there was really nothing I could find at the time. I have now been, I think the last psychosis I experienced was 2018. So it's been a long time for me, and the world is changing. It's changing fast. Holistic therapies, modalities, new ways of thinking are becoming more and more prolific. So now is the time, I think, for us to really, yeah, step into these kinds of retreats and courses and programs and allow ourselves to heal in more of a multidimensional way, more of a truly holistic way than, say, the medical model usually provides. So in that case, in that sense, yeah, it is holistic, but I'm also not anti-medical model. As I said before, I hold space for all worldviews. I welcome everybody who feels that they're ready for this, that they're capable of taking on the knowledge and contributing in a group environment. And yeah, very happy to work with your worldview. So if you're interested in this and you'd like to join us, please contact me. It's as easy as that. I've got the website links below. You can read more about it. There's a group program online that you can read about. the costs and the times and the logistics and the policies and all that other stuff that's important. If you're an NDIS participant, I do have a service agreement that you can read as well. And there's a little form to fill in. And then what follows is an interview process. So I will either contact you by phone or Zoom, or even in person if you live on the Sunshine Coast, and we can meet and just discuss your needs and make sure that it's a really good fit for you. If you do register for the program, but it's not quite the right timing, I'm going to, I'm always got my eye on creating more and more of these events. So we'll find something else that is suitable for you. So even if this isn't quite the one for you, but you're still called to this idea, feel free to reach out and go through the registration process, because then we can align you with an offering that does feel good. Cool. So any questions, please let me know. And otherwise, I really hope to meet you and help you soon. Take care and namaste.